every boat owner's worst nightmare, potentially a blocked toilet. Now, before you get too worried, there's a few things to check. First of all, this is the issue. You've got a bowl full of water, black water, and when you flush the toilet, put your foot on the pedal, and it doesn't flush out. There's a couple of things to check. Firstly, find where the tank watch is. This tells you how full the tank is, the holding tank. So, if this is near full, what happens is when these get to full, they cut the vacuum pump out, so you can't put any more waste into the tank. So that's the first thing to check. And obviously, if it's up in the full area, or even to the mid area, I'd go and organise to discharge the holding tank. Other simple thing is, you may have forgotten to turn on the circuit breaker at the switchboard, which activates the toilet and the actual vacuum flush system. So you've checked that the holding tank's not full, you've gone and found that the switch is on the circuit breaker, so you have got vacuum there, but when you put your foot on the pedal, it's not flushing. Now, that means that there's probably a blockage, and the blockage is just in here below the flushing beak. First thing to do, because what happens with these is every time you put your foot on the pedal, it puts fresh water into the bowl. So you're going to have to open that beak to get the blockage out. So first thing to do is go and turn your fresh water pump on. That will stop the level of water pumping, or level of water in the bowl, filling the bowl and overflowing. So first thing, turn the fresh water pump off. Second thing probably is to turn the actual toilet system off so it's not creating any more vacuum. Then, unfortunately, the next thing is to go and get yourself a long rubber glove and a bucket. The long rubber glove you're going to need because you're going to have to stick your hand in here. Once you've put your foot on the pedal, you're going to have to stick your hand in here and try and remove the blockage. Now, if you haven't got a long rubber glove, you might have a couple of plastic bags, a bin bag, bin liner, something like that. So you're going to need to put your foot on the pedal, and then you're going to have to poke your hand in here in the bowl. Now, I haven't turned the fresh water off at this stage, so you can see how fast the water's coming in. So if I quickly go and turn the fresh water pump off, then I'll show you exactly how to remove the blockage. So I've turned the fresh water pump on, so just to test that there's no water coming in, I lift the pedal up so that it just puts water in and there's no water coming in. So the next thing is wrap your hand up in a couple of bags or a rubber glove, grit your teeth, put your foot on the pedal or your hand on the pedal, open up the system, put your hand in here and pull out whatever's blocking the toilet. When you pull it out, you can just wrap it up like that and dispose of that in the rightful manner. Hopefully that will solve the problem.